Hello everyone. So SAO Fatal Bullet, the customization and shopping is quite simple. However, it's easy to use, however, it's quite limited as you will see in a minute. Well, relatively limited in colors and all that. So I'm just showcasing some stuff there. It's quite simple, but its simplicity makes it a lot better than other games. But what it does make up for simplicity is it's quite not so simple banking system, where it uses more than standard math, like what is what plus what, but actually uses interests and what could happen after a couple of quests, chances, uncertainty and all that. In this clip, particularly clip, 50% of my income is actually going to my in-game bank account. It's quite great, simple to use, and yeah. So here's the customization part, where I showcase basic customization, showing what's currently my weapons, and the ones with the plus and plus plus is upgraded. You can change the colors of your outfit and weapons, and well, basically everything that is on you, even your hair and whatnot. Here's the banking part, but I'm just showing the character and weapon customization. It's quite limited in range, but simple to use and fun to use. Yeah, that's about all. The combat is... it's not easy to put into words, but it can be sometimes quite annoying with all those shouting from teammates. Enemies being, for the most part, docile, mostly just showing off their powers and whatnot. But as you can see, I'm attacking a special enemy. All I did was run around and shoot it till it died. I have some gripes with the combat. quite repetitive, but pretty well done, if I must say so myself. I've played it a lot. It's pretty fun. So there's not a lot I can say specifically about the combat, but what kind of grinds my gears is that you're basically, in my case, a massive Mary Sue. As you can see, I'm fighting a boss, and it looks pretty easy because for the most part it is. Your level is high enough, your weapon's damage is good enough. It's really much set to defeat any enemy in the game. A Mary Sue, which I think I'll explain a bit, is a character put in a story, and it exists only to be very powerful, very strong. I don't remember if I have any clips where I'm using the UFG or simply put the grappling hook in the game, which is supposed to be incredibly rare, and in dialogue everybody wants it. And the character with the name of Arphasis is also supposed to be a very rare type. But as a Mary Sue / Marty Sue, well, you get it. Oh, here's the OST. It's pretty underwhelming for something supposedly so rare. And on that rare thing, I just want to say that there's massive quotation marks. Yeah, the gameplay, the story kind of makes up for the combat, which can sometimes be quite annoying. However, I will let this clip run and not talk a lot about it. There's not too much to say about it in this segment.
こんなもんじゃないわ。
グレネード行くぞ。
投げるぞ。レアアイテムやったね。
やるな。
So we are officially in the spoiler territory, at least for the anime and other games, which I'm not so sure are directly connected. But in the anime they have to battle, and it's basically a part of the story that they battle to survive. At least in the first arc, and then the second arc, Kirito battles to get someone from the first arc. Third arc is, well, taking place in this virtual reality MMO game. So as you can see, I'm battling things and whatnot. The reason why I wanted to show so much combat and mostly talk about combat is because it's a massive part in the anime and all the SAO games that I've played. So the anime is called Sword Art Online. It's about roughly 10,000 people being stuck in a virtual reality game, not being able to get out, but they have to fight their way out. And it's a anime with very mixed reception. Some people love it, some people hate it, and there's people like me somewhere in the middle ground. So this particular thing is called a weapon skill, or weapon art, which is basically also from the anime. But in the anime they are called sword skill. So my tip for the combat in the game is stock up on ammo, and you're pretty much set to go. And if you get materials, well, you can upgrade your weapon and you can go even further. However, there's something that I would like to talk about with the plot part and combat part, and that is the stats. You can literally just upgrade your strength, dexterity and vitality, and basically become a god. Basically a god. A lot of health, a lot of strength, big guns, a lot of ammo. Yeah. Which also is stated in the anime that most MMO RPG games are broken in the sense that the stats and skill systems can be exploited to the level of near immortality. And yeah, but it's far more prevalent in this game that the stats can be abused in such manner as you can see my character having a small shield icon near the ammo counter. It's tank. I have a lot of strength, vitality, and dexterity, meaning that I can use very heavy weapons easily, but not in this save. In another save I have basically abused the crap out of that system, which also is quite justifiable with the fact that it's also in the anime where these games are from. So yeah, and with that in mind, the boss fights here can sometimes, although very rarely, be quite intense if you haven't prepared well. Like not enough ammo, not enough level and skills and all that. But in this clip right here, I think it was the first try where I fought this boss. All I really did was run around, but in other bosses you can actually literally just go up on a higher ground and rain down death and weather the attacks of the boss very easily, which is basically my only gripe about the boss fights. The only issue I find with the boss fights. Sometimes the bosses though can be quite annoying. Like this boss. My best tip for a successful, very easy boss fight is try once or twice, get out of the area, and whether see how it attacks, attack patterns, different types of attacks, weaknesses, health, how much damage they're able to deliver with a certain weapon type, weak spots, armored spots, best way to defeat that armor, all that information about the boss. And then in the next run where you are planning on actually defeating the boss, stock up on a lot of ammo and a lot, not just one type of ammo like high-speed bullets, high-speed AR bullets, SMG bullets, pistol bullets, pistol optical energy battery things. There's also different types. There's two types of basic weapons, as in energy ballistic, which is what I always use, and swords, which I am not particularly the biggest fan of. But I'm pretty sure that this boss fight would be a lot easier using energy weapons, but since I have a lot of ballistic weapon ammo, conventional weapon ammo, I decided to use these and ignore the armor weakness and just keep running around in circles, dodge when necessary, use shields when necessary. Yeah, basic boss fight stuff. As you can see, it's staggered, but I didn't go to the back because I know the very basics of this boss, which is basically it attacks aggressively and fast. so movement is key in this boss. However, other bosses have other characteristics. So basically one boss is not going to be the same as another boss. Like, I know other bosses that play relatively defensive fights. I've battled a couple. So yeah, it's also quite a big part of the anime, and by that also the games, because in the anime, at least the first part, the bosses are the ones they have to defeat and to progress and get out of the VR world trap thing. So yeah, like the bosses, they're important. They're a diverse bunch of bullet sponges, if I must say so myself. At least that's my opinion. You can tell me what you think about that. If you ever played the game, and or if you have played the game before, or anything similar like Destiny or whatever. This is basically a third-person looter shooter, a lot like Destiny and games like that. However, its stat system is not similar to those games. Those games have casualized weapons and stats things. Weapons with stat boosts, and weapons of certain level has damage, this damage and that damage. Yeah, this game doesn't have that. My final judgment of the game is going to be my first mixed feelings review. So yeah, I will let this clip run until it ends.